Exercise Worthington Challenge is an international competition held here in Gagetown, New Brunswick, which involves assessing skills at the crew level in terms of how well they work as a team, as an armored vehicle crew. That doesn't mean they're always working on their vehicle, but it assesses how they work as a crew, sometimes mounted, some cases dismounted. Participating in the Worthington Challenge are obviously teams from Canada, but also the United States, Denmark, Chile, and New Zealand. The international competition allows us to not only compete against one another, but build that sense of camaraderie, but also learn lessons from each other so that we can build on each other's experiences.
We did the shooting, 2 tanks operated at the same time. The 2 crews communicating between each other in one language and then with the tower in another language. That was the coolest thing I've done so far. You don't have as much sight as we are used to back in Chile. The north part where we work, where our unit lies, it's mostly desert and very dry desert. So I have a sight of 10 kilometers, I can see perfectly. But here you have the trees and forests and the hills. For example, your targets came much nearer than we are used to. We're used to distances over 3 kilometers. You guys have targets coming in from 700 meters, 1,200 meters, so we were very surprised about that. I think we did well in shooting.
Exercise Worthington Challenge not only helps train our soldiers and train international soldiers, but it highlights some of the challenges in dealing with other nations. Some of our equipment isn't compatible, some of our procedures aren't compatible. So working through those challenges actually helps prepare us for future tasks where we could be deployed in a coalition context.
It's a pretty good view of some of the countries in NATO, and we can identify training gaps and procedures in order to make those lessons learned.
Morning. Good morning.
So we can increase our training level and put our focus on where we might have some of these gaps compared to other NATO countries.
The relationship with our international partners is important. We worked very closely with the US Army on operations in the past. The Danes have shared a long relationship in Afghanistan, for example. We're emphasizing more and more our relationship army to army with Chile. And of course, New Zealand is part of the ABC Four Eyes nations. And so those relationships are all incredibly important, and this is one of the ways that we advance them.